see that we're being recorded. It's almost, well, it's 7 o'clock now, but we need at least one other member. Brian, do you have the numbers?
I can double check. I should.
Folks, we're on hold for now because we don't have a quorum. Well, we have a quorum, but we have Lucas was here in December, so we should be continuing with him.
Yeah, my fault. Sorry.
Not at all, of course. I guess I can open the meeting since we are recording. Brian, I'm going to get started. It's approaching 7:02. I'll open the meeting. This is a meeting of the Town of Norton Zoning Board of Appeals. We have 4 items on the agenda tonight. We are meeting remotely due to the COVID-19 stuff going on. Unfortunately, as we start a new year, we're back to remote for now because of the Omicron spread and what's going on with that. That was a decision of the town manager and or board of selectmen. So we are all attending remotely by electronic means. We've provided what we understand is reasonable access to applicants and also to the public, to anybody who wants to attend. I see a couple of people, several people on with us at this point. We have a quorum for the meeting, but we're just trying to, I'd ask Brian to give Lucas a call to see if he's about to join us. Brian, do you need his number?
Yeah, I need his number.
Okay. I
know you gave it to it. I'm just trying to find it in my emails.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm trying to find my phone at the moment. I apologize. Stand by. Here it is. Charging up. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a text from Mr. Wozniak. I will not be able to make it. This is in the last hour. I didn't see this. I have a late interview for a position, and they just postponed to 7. So we don't have Mr. Wozniak with us right now. Let's think this through.
Which matters do we open last meeting?
We opened the first 2 matters on the agenda, the matter of 343 Reservoir Street and the matter of 173 South Worcester Street, I believe.
The first matter, and I don't know, it was my general recollection is we did not get substantially.
No, we didn't. No, we did not. But
no problem.
The statute says that we're supposed to, well, Mr. Tenore can, I suppose, fill in now and then watch and listen to the last meeting and sign I forgot what it's called, one of the
Muller form.
What is it?
Mullen.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sign a Mullen form, whatever it is. If you can do that in the next few days. So maybe we should proceed for now and inform the applicant that we're doing that. See if the applicant has any problem with that. So the first item on our agenda is the application for 343 Reservoir Street. We had continued that. We had opened it briefly at our December meeting and continued it for various reasons. Sitting on the application tonight are myself, Tom Noel, I'm chair and member, David Wren, and also Jim Tenore. Mr. Tenore was not here at the December meeting. I think I see the applicants under the name Cheryl. Is that correct?
It is correct, yes.
For the record, could you state your name again, or your names if you're both going to be speaking?
Cheryl and Melissa Rose. Melissa is the new owner of
The owner of the house.
Yeah, the owner of the home.
Okay, thank you. And you are Cheryl, correct?
Her mother, yes.
The person speaking now. Yes, thank you. It's hard to identify people by reference on the TV screen. We opened the meeting last month with Mr. Wozniak in attendance, along with David Wren and myself. The rules provide, and this is just a summary, that the same members are supposed to continue with the hearing that opened the hearing. However, if a member is absent at a subsequent hearing, and again, this is just a summary, Mr. Tenore, who is another member of the board, can sit in on the hearing now, as long as he watches the video or listens to the audio of the last meeting, which didn't go very far, but we did talk for 5 or 10 minutes, and he has to sign a form saying that he has done that. I've asked him to do that in the next couple of days, if that's within his ability to do so. So I'll ask the applicant, do you have any objection to proceeding on that ground?
No, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. And just for the record, is there anybody else who objects to that procedure tonight for this hearing? I don't see anybody objecting or chiming in on the telephone participants. So thank you. We'll proceed accordingly, and thank you very much. Again, we tabled this at the last hearing. This is an application for 343 Reservoir Street. I'm just going to introduce it again briefly. The application says this is in an R60 zone. The plan says it's in an R40 zone, and I think that we determined that it's actually an R40 zone. That's fine. The property was acquired in October. Proposed use is a single family with an in-law unit to the residence. The applicant proposes to build an accessory apartment. There is an existing non-conforming use concerning frontage, lot area, and side yard setback. The non-conformities, as the applicant states in the application itself, will be made further non-conforming. We have a plan of record now. This is what I think, did not have at the December meeting, so thank you for submitting this. For the record, it's the plan titled Fern Lane, submitted by Trowbridge Associates. The date is December 30, 2021. And that's the plan of record that we'll be looking at and going under tonight. And we had asked the applicant to submit that last meeting, Jim. There was a plan that was not engineered, not stamped, and it didn't have the proper setbacks. That's why we continued it with the applicant's permission.
Just to be clear, the other one, I see the stamp plan. The other one is just like, almost like
Architectural drawing.
an architectural drawing. Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Okay. I want to make sure.
So the stamped plan being from Trowbridge, I don't know if you can see this, but we all have it in the packets. I'll refer you to.
It has been uploaded to Permitize as well.
Yes, it is. Yes, thank you. And that's where I got it, in fact. And the other members, I'll assume, have it as well. Yep. So this is dated December 30th. It shows the proposed in-law addition to the west, I think, of the existing dwelling. And just for the record, it looks like the encroachment at the closest position on the left would be down to 16.9 feet to the next adjoining lot on the side. So that is a variance that we would need to consider granting. Because this is a pre-existing non-conforming use, however, we would need a variance vote and a finding under 1.5e that this proposed addition, as shown on the plan, is not going to make this use substantially more detrimental to the use that's there now. And we'll ask if any abutters, neighbors are here to speak about this in just a moment. But for now, can I ask Mr. Wren, Mr. Tenore, if they have questions about what's planned here or the plan itself that was submitted?
I don't have any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Jim?
So I'm just going by the very first architectural drawing. Is the green section, if you guys can remember, or you happen to see it in the shaded section, is that the proposed addition?
I believe so. Let me get my drawings, but I believe so.
I have the.
It looks to me, Jim,
No.
that that's the case. It's to the left of the house as you're looking from Reservoir Street.
Correct.
But-
Yeah, the left of the house would be the proposed addition.
Whether it encompasses the whole thing, that's what we couldn't tell actually last time. So I can ask a different way. Is that a garage to
Correct.
the
But
left?
the garage, the furthest to the left of the house is the garage.
Is
which
that
we're gonna
existing? Does that garage exist now?
The garage does exist now, yes.
Okay, so the addition is going to be the additional living space, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Is there going to be access? And that's what I was trying to get at. Is there access? And I couldn't really tell. Is there going to be access from the garage into the dwelling?
Correct. Yes.
Is there access?
That's
to the-
required by
Yeah.
the town bylaws, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Is-
So yes,
is there-
there is a plan for there to be access from the new apartment into the garage. Or the former garage.
Is there also access from the new addition to the exterior of the house?
Correct. Yes.
Where is that? If you could just describe it.
It would be on the side, facing the side of the property,
Okay.
on the left-hand side.
But within the box that you show here?
Correct.
Okay. The reason we're asking is because what we do is we say, per the plan of record, this is approved or not approved, but don't have any indication of not approval at this point. And it'll say that shall not be closer than 16.9 feet on the northerly or northwesterly side of the
Correct.
construction. So if it's going to encroach further than that with something that's fixed to the ground, like a step or porch or anything, you're going to have to show that, or Mr. Iafredi can walk you through that and tell you what's permitted and not. But my understanding is that if it's going to be a staircase or steps extending further,
It will
that's
be ground level.
just a step out, in other words.
Correct.
Thank you. That solves that. That's what I think.
Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to get at.
Thanks for clearing that up too. All right. So presently it is, I assume, we don't see the exact distance from the dwelling to that side yard, but it looks to be something like 32 or 33 feet, which conforms in either an R40 or R60 zone. But this would not conform because the distance required is, I believe, 25 feet.
25 is the right. Correct.
So this would be a reduction of into the 25-foot required setback. I don't. There's no encroachment on any of the other setbacks that I can see. Members, do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Nick Iafredi is with us, building inspector. Hi, thank you, Nick, for being with us again. Tell us, just break in, Nick, if you have anything to add or if you disagree with anything we're saying here.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
think everything you said so far, Mr. Chairman, is right on point, as usual.
I was going to say that's unusual, but okay, thanks. It's a new year. We could be nice, right? So members, I don't have a problem with this as presented or shown on the plan. If there's no other question or comment from the members, let me ask if there's anyone else in attendance to speak in favor of or in opposition to the application that's been presented. And I'll just give a couple of seconds and ask Brian also to look around to see if anyone's trying to chime in by chat or by telephone. I don't see anybody speaking up, or if anyone's on camera, you can raise your hand and wave it around if you have anything to say in favor of or in opposition to this application. I don't see anybody trying to speak other than the applicants, of course, themselves. With that in mind, members, is there a motion here to, I guess we have to ask for a variance to permit the construction to be no closer than 16.9 feet as shown on the plan of record, wherein 25 feet is required on a side yard setback in this zone, as shown on the plan of record. Is there a motion to grant that variance? I would suggest the hardship is that this is an extremely small lot, that the neighborhood contains other similarly sized lots, and that this is not going to, so that this variance would pertain to this lot and not other lots in the area, according to the variance requirements in the bylaw. Is there a motion? I'm sorry, Dave, your mic is off. You look good talking silently, but
Nope.
You got to unmute at the bottom of your screen.
Oh, sorry. I don't know how I got muted.
the gremlins are out. Is there a motion to grant that variance?
Yes, I will make the motion to grant the variance
As stated.
of 16.9 feet rather than 25 feet.
Jim, is there a second?
I will second.
Any further discussion on that motion?
No.
Seeing none, I'll ask for a roll call vote. Mr. Wren, how do you vote on this motion for variance relief?
I vote yes.
Mr. Tenore?
Yes.
Mr. Noel votes yes as well. Very good. So that variance is granted. We also, I think, need a finding under 1.5e, as this is a pre-existing non-conforming use. We know that neighborhood, most of the homes and lots there follow similar dimensions. I don't see any problem with that finding as well. The motion would be, and I'd ask for a motion that the plan, again, as shown on the plan of record, to construct an addition on the north or northwesterly side, as shown on the plan of record, will not render the use substantially more detrimental to the area than the existing use and construction.
I will make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
I will second, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. No further discussion on that? Nope. Then, Mr. Wren, how do you vote on the motion, your own motion for 1.5e finding?
I vote yes.
Mr. Tenore, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Noel votes yes as well. Sorry for the formalities, folks, but we were told by council we got to do it this way when we're remote. We've got to ask for an affirmative voice vote.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Thank you for your understanding. With that, I think we're done with this application. Members, correct? Okay, applicants, thank you very much for coming back to us, for submitting what we needed to see and have on record. And what happens is we will draw up a decision, a couple pages that will actually attach this plan, and that will be in the next 2 weeks. It'll be filed at town hall. Then anybody has an opportunity to file an objection or to appeal that decision and this plan. Usually that doesn't happen, but you can be in touch with town clerk or Mr. Iafrede as to anything that goes beyond this point. Thank you very much for your understanding and for coming back, and have a good new year and good luck with this project.
Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, moving on to the next item on the agenda, the continued application pertaining to 173 South Worcester Street. The applicant owner, Valerie Nicholas. Is Valerie Nicholas here? I
He's
see
the one-
somebody connected with a blue jacket connected by iPhone and camera, but we don't hear you. Are you Miss Nicholas? Could you wave it? You are.
Yeah.
We're going to have to hear you. I think probably your audio settings for the camera are off, so you have to go to the iPhone, although I don't know that. Did you call in by iPhone as well as tune in by way of the camera? Oops.
Can you hear me now?
That, exactly
can.
now. It just started when you asked that question. Whatever you did, you're a genius.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. You are Miss Nicholas?
Yes, I am.
Thank you very much. I believe this was also continued from December. Oh, that's right. We had a publication issue with this in December. We hadn't published in time. So though
And now it is.
we opened the meeting, thank you, Brian, and it was published in the meantime, but it's the same application, I believe, that we had. This is in an R40 district. It's a residential use. The applicant is seeking permission to add to it, to construct per the plan of record. And we
Yes.
have, sorry?
No, I said yes.
Thank you. We have actually, it looks like 3 plan sheets here. Which one, are they all the same? Do they all have the distances in? I think they do. Well, I'm going to suggest that we look at the plan sheet marked 1/1 because that actually has a different. Okay, wait a minute. Well, I got to point out 1/1 is different than 2/2 in that the side yard on the right, as you're looking at the paper, is 10.2 feet in 1/1, but 10 feet in 2/2. Does the applicant know which plan we are supposed to be acting
I
on?
believe one was stamped and the other one is not stamped. That's the only difference that I know of.
You are correct.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, you should base all your decisions off the stamp plan.
Yep, I see. 2 of 3 pages I have are stamped, 1/2 and 2/2. So we will go with that, and those show the 10-foot distance, not the 10.2. Thank you for pointing that out. So we will use the plan sheet marked 2/2, which shows the construction and the setbacks to the plan construction, the construction plan in maroon, I believe. Correct, Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
Okay. Can you just describe to the board what's the purpose of the intended construction?
We are looking to extend. I believe add one extra room. Let me see.
Okay.
Well, because the property is it's for we're going to sell it.
All right. For the record, frontage of this is 125 feet, according to the application.
Mm-hmm.
In an R40 zone. Okay, total area is just under 18,000 square feet. Right, as shown on the plan as well. So this is also a pre-existing non-conforming use. We would need a determination, the finding under 1.5E. And the question I have is, and members please add to this, but is the new construction coming closer to that side yard setback?
No.
Okay, the garage is going to stay where it is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's at 10 feet and according to the plan, and it stays at 10 feet, right? As far as you understand?
Yes.
So you're building around the garage, and I think we had asked that last time, actually. You're building around the garage to the house,
Mm-hmm.
as shown in the maroon area. Okay. Members,
Mr. Chairman,
do you see that, and do you agree? And do you have questions, David or Jim?
I'm not at this time.
Not at this point, but now I understand it. I got it.
Okay. Nick, are we describing this accurately to your understanding as well?
Yeah, I think the plan. So they have a layout plan, a proposed layout plan, and it looks like they're adding living space above the existing garage.
Is that correct, Miss Nicholas?
Yes.
Okay.
I just
As far as the footprint goes, though, the footprint to that side yard stays the same, it looks like, it appears. And it's at 10 feet now, and in an R40, I believe 25 is required, but that's what's there at this time. So there's no further encroachment, I would think.
no, the garage currently looks like a detached garage, and you're correct. If it's existing and it's a 10-foot setback, then there's no more encroachment.
I see. So now it becomes attached, and it should be 25 feet. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be 25 feet. I don't know if I should say should, but
That would be the requirement if it becomes part of the primary dwelling, correct? But as an accessory structure, the 10-foot setback is allowed if the garage stays detached.
so I'm going to suggest, contrary to what I said a minute ago, members, I think maybe a variance is in order here because it's now going to be an attached structure requiring 25 feet. Do you agree?
And unattacked structure. Hold on a second.
Yes, to Ms. Nicholas, right now the garage is detached. Do you agree? Or she may be out of the picture for 1 second.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The garage right now is detached, correct? It's not attached to the house.
It's not detached. It's all one together. It's the roof is kind of attached to the whole house. It's like one big structure now. It's not detached at all.
So the walkway that is between the garage and house, is that
And there is a walkway between the house and the garage, but it's covered.
I think, Nick, if that's accurate, that means it is an attached structure now.
Correct. Yeah, it's tough to see that on the layout plan, but if
Don't do that.
it attaches the two structures, Mr. Chairman, then yes, it becomes an attached structure to that principal.
So I'm
value.
going to consider that this is a pre-existing non-conforming use and does not need a further variance. Members,
Tammy, does it matter that they're changing the use of that structure? Because what it appears to me, just by looking at these plans, and again, I'm just catching up, but it looks like they're going from a garage, which was attached with the walkway, according to the applicant, to now an actual full-formed residential area.
okay, Ms. Nicholas, is this for an additional residential apartment?
No, we're not having an additional residential apartment. It's gonna be just that one house. No.
No, but it looks like they're taking the garage out. It's no longer going to be utilized as a garage. And now it's going to be one big addition. If I'm
Nicholas, is that what you're doing?
All right, I have the plan in front of me. 1 second.
But Jim, in the meantime, this would still be a single residential use, correct?
Yes. I just didn't know if changing, I've never come across this where you have a garage, but then you change the use, you know what I mean? Where it doesn't hose.
Yeah, I know what you're saying because you're changing the nature of the garage to a living area. However, it is all attached to the existing to a residential home.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
I get your point.
So, Ms. Nicholas, is the garage going to remain a garage, or is it all going to be a living area?
So according to the plan, it is gonna remain a garage. Yes.
There's no way.
So this is the existing house here.
Yes, we see.
So yeah.
Hold on, Kevin, I'm gonna share my screen because this is what I'm looking at. Maybe I can.
Okay.
I can try to. I don't know. Hold on 1 second. Gotta get used to the Zoom stuff.
I think the question Jim's trying to ask is, how are you going to access the garage the way it's laid out?
So what I'm looking at right here in the middle, this looks to be the garage that was existing now. And that doesn't look like, and it's going to be utilized as a garage at all.
It doesn't show an overhead door or any type of garage setup there. It looks like it's being converted to living space.
I see on either side.
Yeah.
So
when you come down here, I think this is the first floor. Because then you got the stairs coming up. This would be the first floor, and then this is over here. It shows a room, like a kitchen.
yeah, it does. So that, is there a bath in there too?
So there's gonna be two it's gonna be 2 bathrooms.
Well, the kitchen that's shown in this plan that's on the screen, is that the existing kitchen? Ms. Nicholas,
Yes, sir.
the kitchen that Mr. Denari was pointing to on the screen right now, thanks. Is that kitchen in the house that exists now, or is that part of the new construction? I'm not following where the new construction is in that, Jim.
I think
It
this
looks
whole
like
thing
that's
is
the
the
new
new
construction.
construction.
Yeah, it looks like the new construction.
This is all new construction. It appears, at least what I can tell, and I just wanted to clarify, this is the existing garage, which looks like it's going to be converted to a playroom,
I see.
with an addition on the back that appears to be a kitchen, but again, I can't zoom in. So,
I see
then you got-
I see the L shape now that you're pointing to.
and then you got the rest of the addition. I can't tell if this might be already there. Or not.
Yeah, I think that's what's now the front of the house. The existing, well,
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is this? I mean, nonetheless, my question, this was the garage. It's not going to be a garage now. It's going to be now living space. Does that change anything?
I don't think so unless it's going to be an accessory apartment.
No, we're not gonna have. There's not gonna be like an in-law or anything else. No, that's not gonna happen.
Okay, so
Jim, on that plan that you're looking at, I know you can't zoom in on it, but the way I read that plan is the dark black lines, the perimeter of that first floor layout. So the black exterior walls are existing.
Yeah, right here.
The light gray shaded walls would be the new addition.
And this is all open, right?
It's proposed to be opened up during construction. That to me looks like that's the existing back wall of the house now.
yeah,
It's going to be reworked and opened up into the addition.
Okay. That's right. Because that's what I saw this black line here.
Yeah. So that,
Sir, I have someone that can answer the question better than I can.
okay,
Hi.
Jim, do you want to go to that person, Jim? You were
I mean,
talking.
I don't think so. I think we determined that we are looking at this correct, and if I was just bringing up that it's going from the garage to the residential, if that doesn't
Are they
make
gonna break the garage?
a difference, then I think we should.
Where's the access to the garage now? Do we see that?
Yes, it's in the side and the front. the little deck is, the side of the house, and the front.
The existing 1.5
Yeah.
story is a garage?
Yes.
Oh, that comports with the photo that I found on Google. Well, no, it doesn't look like a garage to me. Here's a photo I'm referring to. I'm sorry just to hold it up. Can we go back to regular screen? Is that the house that exists now, applicant?
Yes.
The bottom photo?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
That's not a garage, correct?
I can't see it. Hold on 1 second. Can you make it bigger?
I'm sorry, I don't have this in a form that I can share.
Can you get
Lost your audio.
Applicant, we lost your audio. I'm sorry, Ms. Nicholas, we lost your audio.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, okay.
We're just trying to determine what is there now and what it's going to be.
It's the garage right now.
Okay, the picture that's here, what I got off Google, that's what faces the street. Is that what's there now?
Yes, that's the house. And in the back of it, that's the garage.
So how do you get a car to the garage? That's what I was asking.
You go in a driveway, and then on the left, you go inside the garage. But there's also a door on the other side.
Okay. It's an odd configuration, but I see the driveway in the photo that I think the applicant is referring to.
Yeah, once you're in the driveway, the garage is in the left.
So you drive in and then you turn into the garage.
Yes, on the left, yes.
Okay. Is that garage going to become living space, or is it going to be a garage?
No, it's going to become a living space.
Okay, so there's not going to be an enclosed garage now?
No.
Okay, that's what Jim was asking.
Okay,
thank you.
You're welcome.
But still, that it remains a single-family residential use. My only question would be, it's obviously it's more than a 25% increase of floor area, living space. So that would be another factor. This is a pre-existing non-conforming, correct?
Yes.
Did we say that already?
We did. It was
right, because it's got 125 feet of frontage and just 18,000 square feet in an R40 zone. So it's pre-existing non-conforming. So my suggestion is to the members that this would require a finding under 1.5e, though not a variance. And the living space is being increased by more than 25%. So that brings in the other sections of 1.5e that we've looked at recently. Nick, do you agree?
Yeah, I think that works. I question whether or not it still needs a variance on the side yard setback because it's not encroaching on. I guess it's wrong. If the garage is attached to the house now, then it is pre-existing non-conforming on that side yard setback. So you're right. It would be a section 6 finding, not a variance.
Okay. We don't have any information that it's not attached, I think, unless you've been out there and,
I have not been on site. So
yeah. Okay. And it's up to the applicant to ask us for what they need anyway. So, I mean, if something is not right later, that falls on the purchaser of the property or somebody else to straighten out if the applicant hasn't straightened it out, I would say.
Right.
Okay.
That's why you need to straighten out.
So, So the way I'm reading it is 175-1.6 says they could do this as a matter of right, except that the floor area is increased by more than 25%. You then go down to C, It says in the event building commissioner determines that the reconstruction, extension, etc., increases the habitable floor area by 25% or more, a finding under section 6 shall be required to allow such reconstruction or alteration. A determination may be granted only if there's a finding of that the reconstruction shall not be, it's the same standard, substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood in which the structure is located in the existing non-conforming structure. So it brings us back to the same standard, I'd suggest. Is there any disagreement on that, Jim or Dave or Nick?
So would you make both findings?
I don't think so. I think not a variance, Jim, because it's where the applicant says it's an attached structure now, and it's pre-existing, we're assuming, so it's been there.
Yeah.
And it's not going to encroach any further.
Yep.
I mean, it'll note in the decision that, you know, the side yard setback had been encroached by down to 10 feet anyway, and this is, the plan of record doesn't show anything more severe. So are there other questions from the board to the applicant? No, David? No?
No.
Okay. Then let me ask if there's anybody else in attendance to speak in favor of or in opposition to the application as presented. And we'll wait just a few minutes. And Nick, if you have any questions, you can chime in as well.
Thank you.
For the record, I don't see any other comments for or against the application. That I'm suggesting is a 1.5 is a need for a 1.5e determination, that the construction as shown on the plan of record will not be substantially more detrimental to the use and the structure that is there now. Is there that motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, now it's open for discussion. Members, it's a little confusing, but I don't see an issue here other than a 1.5e determination. The footprint is roughly the same, except that they're covering more square footage, and they're obviously increasing the habitable floor area by a great deal, but there's nothing in the bylaw that says they can't. And, you know, upon our finding, this is not under 1.5e, actually, it's under, I just had it, 1.6. It's the next section that was added a year or two ago that we've looked at a couple times.
That's a habitable space.
Right.
That's kind of where I was getting at, Mr. Chairman, as the garage.
Yep.
Where I was going.
No, I agree. It's an increase, so it comes under that 1.6 exception. But it's the same standard that we apply. Get back to the same standard. It's not going to be a separate apartment, so you know, and that'll be noted in the decision as well. This is an expansion of the existing residential single-family use. With that in mind, is there any further discussion on the motion? Can I ask for a vote? Mr. Wren, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Mr. Tenori?
Yes.
Mr. Noel votes yes as well. So again, thank you to the applicant and the applicant's family for taking part. Sorry, I know your kids are active in the background. We appreciate you battling through and letting us battle through the questions. We'll draw up a decision and we'll use the plan that we were referencing as the plan of record. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too. Same to you.
Okay. Members, we have two more items on the agenda. These we have not seen before. Not taken up before. Next item is 111 Lincoln Street. The owner is a Tony Susie. Applicant is Jeff Crawford. Are they, I see Kraft available, but not tuned in yet. Here he's coming. Is that Jeff Crawford?
That's Brandon Crawford's son.
Okay.
Contractor as well.
Okay, thank you. You're the contractor for the property?
Jeff pulled the permit, but I'm just here for the meeting.
Okay, but you're representing the applicant.
Yes,
That's
sir.
fine. Okay. So on this, applicant is seeking to applicant, why don't you tell us what you're attempting to do here? There's an existing dwelling, and is there an existing foundation?
We're doing a detached garage from the existing dwelling, and we're looking for a variance for 8 inches on the back right corner of the lot. The yard marker that they went off of was incorrect.
Okay, so the foundation is there, it's been poured?
Correct.
So, Mr. Chairman, I can speak to this a little bit.
Thank you.
So the applicant came in, applied for a building permit. Everything that came in front of me with their application was fair and suitable, so the permit was issued. The foundation was poured in phases, properly, footing and then foundation, and then with it being so close, proposed to be so close to the 10-foot setback, I required a foundation as-built when the foundation was poured from their civil engineer. When the as-built came back, we found that the foundation was poured approximately 8 inches too close to the property line. There, instead of 10 feet from the property line, they're now at 9 foot 4 inches from the property line.
Yep.
So due to the insinuating circumstances, I allowed them to backfill instead of leaving a hole open in the side yard, for months at this point at a time, with the caveat that they needed a variance on the side yard setback from the board.
Okay.
Depending what the board decided, then we would decide how to move forward from there if the variance wasn't granted, or if it was granted, then they were good to go from there in the right manner.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Iafredi. The plan of record is dated October 26, 2001, and it shows the side yard at a distance of 9.4 feet at the closest corner. It's, I guess, on the western edge of the property. That equates to 7.2 inches. The applicant is asking for that rounded to 8 inches, I guess. This isn't an R80 zone, so this is an undersized lot.
It is an undersized lot, and the reasoning for no variance on the detached structure is that it was deemed not to be habitable space. It was just a garage. So based on our bylaw, they would have needed a variance if it was habitable space. But I think we've been down this road with something similar to this in the past. Mm-hmm. And we all agreed at that point that the garage with no living space in it wasn't deemed habitable. So it is an undersized lot, but it's a detached garage, which again isn't habitable. So. Yep.
And the side yard for a detached structure is 10 feet. What's there now is 9.4 feet. So my suggestion is that this would require both a finding because it's pre-existing. I mean, the lot is pre-existing, non-conforming, single-family resident, and because it's undersized, and a variance of 8 inches. Members, do you have questions here aside from what's been summarized?
I'm all set, Mr. Chairman. I think I'm all set.
Okay.
So this one, when it was poured, if I understood it correctly, there was it was an error made by the where they measured. Well, I guess it was a. Who made the error? I guess when they poured the foundation.
We made the error. There was a yard marker on the side yard where we determined the 10 feet off of, and that was in the incorrect space. So when we get the as-built from the new engineer, they remarked the yard, and they determined that the old one was not, didn't suffice. So.
Oh. Okay. It was a marker that was there for years, like a sped marker.
Yes, sir.
Dave, are you all set on that question?
Yeah, not yet. Thank you.
Jim, do you have any questions or concerns?
No, sir.
Let me ask then if there's anybody else in attendance to speak in favor of or in opposition to this application as filed and the plan of record. For the record, I don't see anybody else trying to chime in on phone or video. So it is in line for a motion for approval, and I'd suggest, as I did, that we need a variance for the side yard setback on the westerly side from 10 feet down to 9.4 feet at its closest position to the side yard. And that is all for the variance. We're supposed to look at hardship. Obviously, this was, according to the applicant, a mistake. It's a mistake of inches. It's a detached structure, so it's literally 8 inches, between 7 and 8 inches. We don't like when mistakes like this are made, but it's a mistake of inches, and the applicant, had the applicant put it just a little closer to the existing single-family residence, that they wouldn't have to be here at all. Is there a motion to grant a variance down to 9.4 feet on the westerly side under those conditions as shown on the plan?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion for a variance down to 9.4 inches on the westerly side.
9.4 feet.
I'm sorry, 9.4 feet.
Yep.
I will second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any further discussion on that motion? Mr. Wren, how do you vote on the variance?
Oh, yes.
Mr. Tenori?
Yes.
Mr. Noel votes yes as well, for the record. Next, I suggest, though the lot looks big, it's not. It's an undersized lot. There's an existing single-family dwelling. When was the dwelling constructed, applicant?
It was constructed in 1996.
Do we know what was there before?
I believe it's just an empty lot.
Which raises an age-old question of how that came to be. Members, Nick, we don't know the history, correct?
No, sir.
None of us were here. Well, we were here, but not in these positions then. How do you members want to approach?
Mr. Chairman, with it being not habitable space, does it still need a finding?
Yeah, because any extension or alteration of a pre-existing use, but this doesn't even appear to be a pre-existing use, so maybe we should just leave that alone.
Mm.
We granted a variance and let it go at that. That at least then maybe we won't compound the error. Mr. Wren, Mr. Tenori, how do you feel about that?
I think it makes sense because, well, obviously the home's there.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's suggesting that the town's going to challenge the existing dwelling, Right. But then again, if it's not a pre-existing non-conforming, I don't think we should be taking a vote on that aspect.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay. So we will leave it at the grant of variance that we just voted on. We did that, correct? And that's it for this application. So to the applicant, we'll draw up a decision and attach the plan of record and grant the variance that we discussed. And good luck to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. There's we can talk after the final application so as not to hold the folks up, but a couple of things have come to light just in this meeting that we should discuss. Okay, so the last application, sorry to keep you waiting. Oh, it's not that late. 357, and better bunch of people you can't find, right? The application for 357 Old Colony Road, Michael McHugh. Are you Michael McHugh?
Yes, sir.
And are you speaking for the application tonight?
Yes, sir.
And is this person going to speak as well? Could you identify yourself?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This is my wife, Ashley McHugh.
Ashley McHugh. Okay, thank you. Just for the record, we need to get the names if you make any comments or answer questions. Thank you. So this is requesting an increase on the current square footage of the home by more than 25%, as noted in the application. And you have only 100 feet of frontage.
Correct.
In an R40 zone, and I think 120 is required. So the application say 100, application says 125 feet. But it is, you are a pre-existing, well, you're an undersized lot anyway. Tell us what you are trying to do with the planned construction.
Proposing to put a 2-story addition onto our existing home. The zoning has changed a few times since our ownership, and we presently live in a 712 square foot home, and we are looking to significantly increase the footprint of the home.
Also, to be noted, our side setback going by R40 currently with the addition is 23.2 feet, where we actually would need 25 feet.
Right. So the red box that's up on the screen, is this the same plan that we have here?
Correct.
Yeah, it's just shaded better on the screen than it is on my print, I guess. I can't really see on the print. Yep. That shows the side yard to the left, I'll describe it as to the left of 23.2 feet. And it shows an existing shed there that's actually over the line. Are you demolishing that shed as part of this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that would be open territory, that 23.2 feet, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And members, please chime in whenever you want. It looks like the red box area is the new construction that will sit on and overtake the old construction that's shown in gray with shaded stippling lines.
Correct.
Do you agree, members?
Yes.
Yep.
What's the difference, applicant? Part of the red box has red dots in it and part does not. Small slivers do not. Is there a difference there that we're supposed to take?
No.
So the lower left from the picture that you have on your screen here, Mr. Chairman, is the existing house. It's an upside down inverted L, if you will. Those are the hash marks. And the proposed addition is the red box with the dots that you're referring to.
But there are red lines on the bottom and to the right that don't have red polka dots in them.
That's our current front porch. That's all it is.
Members,
And
do you see what I'm talking about? And I don't know how to make my pointer.
So that's just
I
the
believe
front
that
porch.
you're looking at what will, excuse me, is the front deck or the front porch.
Brian, are you controlling the pointer?
I am.
Thank you. Yeah, right in there. See, there's an L shape that's in the red box, but not polka dotted. That is a porch area, so there's a roof there, but it's otherwise open. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
That's the roof line. Okay. What about, Brian, could you go down and to the left? There's a box. Well,
This one?
no, just below. To the pointer right.
The 25.4, Brian, is
Yeah.
what he's referring to.
Yes, I am.
That's the existing deck, Mr. Chairman.
That's an existing deck. Okay, I see. Then the shaded stippling lines is the residence itself.
Yes,
Got
that's
it.
correct.
Thank you.
what's that little box on the left-hand side? It's got right there.
That's an existing staircase.
Okay. So
Go in.
technically, that should.
Yeah.
Pardon?
That's the closest point.
But is that there now? Is that present construction?
Yes, sir, it is. The home was built in 1925, so it's definitely pre-existing. The staircase that was added there was added prior to us purchasing the property. As part of this construction, that staircase will be removed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So is it accurate to say that the 23.2 is going to be the closest point to the side yard setback at any point?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Okay. And again, I think you understand our concern. Our decision will note those distances so that if you're putting something new that encroaches within that distance, you have to tell us now so that we can, consider it in this decision.
Yes, sir. I understand that. So from Old Colony Road at the bottom of the screen here, leading up to that staircase, exactly where the cursor is, there's an existing, essentially 2-car wide driveway that would end at that staircase, and then to the left of it, the driveway continues past that staircase. Currently, again, it will be removed as part of this.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Members, do you have other questions?
I do not.
No. So is this, but I'm assuming the habitable area is increased by more than 25% there.
Yes, sir.
Looks like it's quadrupling.
Yeah, I would say.
Yes, sir.
They can have a party
Hopefully.
with more than 2 people, I mean.
Yes.
I'm not familiar with which home that is, but it's pretty apparent by the plan that, so you're just going to have a driveway. There's not going to be an enclosed garage.
So again, following where the cursor is now, removing that staircase, heading up towards the existing shed in this diagram, that is the entry into a first floor garage, and above that will be living space, the master bedroom and our 2 children's bedrooms.
I see. So you will go up the driveway and take a right at some point into a first floor garage.
Correct.
And Nick, that doesn't need to be shown here, the placement of a driveway, right?
No.
I mean, it's fixed to the ground, but it's not considered a structure within the bylaw.
No, that doesn't have to meet the structure setback requirements.
Yep, because it can also be just a dirt driveway and we wouldn't have control.
What it is now.
Oh, got it. Okay. So members, are there any other clarifications that anybody needs? I think I'm all set with this.
As well.
Same here.
Again, though, this is a pre-existing non-conforming use. So we would go under 1.6 again, which I will get out if I can find it. Because the floor space is being increased by more than 25%.
I do have the permit set drawings handy if that behooves the group.
I'm sorry, the what drawings?
The permit set drawings?
Does anybody wish to see those? I'm not sure I need to. Dave?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So this is actually in a commercial zone, correct?
Correct.
Where is the R40 zone that's closest to it?
Behind on Northwester Street, as well as Pro Farm Lane, which is
it's right
down
there.
over,
Okay.
right. So we're kind of surrounded by R40 for the most part.
But it's commercial to the right and left of you.
Correct.
Yes.
Interesting.
Changed during our ownership. When we purchased, we were initially village commercial, which obviously no longer exists. And it was changed to what it is currently.
Okay. Just checking the table. Yeah, so minimum side yard is now, well, under commercial, it's 15 feet anyway. For R40, it would be 25 feet. But I believe it's a commercial, so we decide under the commercial standards anyway. Members, do you agree?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Like, why would we wouldn't choose the nearest? I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. So the 23.2 feet becomes irrelevant anyway. This is really just a finding under 1.6. I think there wouldn't be any variance relief here because they're within the setbacks.
I would agree.
Brian, Nick, do you have any problems with that?
None. Nope.
Okay.
The frontage, what is the frontage? 100 feet?
Yes, sir.
120, right?
Yeah.
Provided is 100. What they have is 100. I think required is 120.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But that's existing anyway, so
It's already there, right? Sorry. Yeah.
so we don't have to note that. That's what makes it, in part, that's what makes it non-conforming. So I think the applicants answered all my questions, unless there are others from members or from Nick. No. Let me ask then: is there anybody else in attendance to speak in favor of or in opposition to the application? And I don't see anybody else in attendance except for us. I guess we're boring. Everybody else left. The applicants will be happy about that. Seeing none, is there a motion here? Let me get out the specific section again. It's a little bit confusing, at least for me. I can find it. Time for the book.
Going old school on us, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry?
Going old school on us.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I print out individual documents, but my desk is piled on either side here. You can't see it, but there are piles of paper here. So if I put something aside, it's gone. Let me just look it up so I get it right. We get it right. Under 175-1.6, nonconforming single and two-family residential structures. Nonconforming single and two-family residential structures may be reconstructed, extended, or altered as of right if the building commissioner finds that's not more than 25% increase in habitable area. Of course, Nick and we agree this is quadrupling, so it doesn't come under Part A. Go down to 175-1.6, capital C, increase in nonconforming nature or increase in habitable floor area by 25% or more in a residential structure, single or two family. I'm just paraphrasing. A determination may be granted by the Board of Appeals, that's us, only if there's a finding by the board that the reconstruction, extension, alteration shall not be substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood in which the structure is located than the existing non-conforming structure. Is there a motion for a finding under that section, 175-1.6, capital C, that this plan as shown on the plan of record and as described ably by the applicants will not render the parcel or use substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood in which it's situated than the existing single-family structure. Is there that motion?
Yes, I would make a motion under section 175-1.6C.
Is there a second?
Yeah, okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Again, we have to do it just for it to be legal. There's a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion?
No, sir.
I think we're all set with this. Mr. Wren, how do you vote on that motion?
Yes.
How do you vote, Mr. Tenori?
Yes.
Mr. Noel votes yes as well. Okay. To the McHughes, thank you very much for putting up with this in video format as well, and for answering all our questions and presenting the pretty clear plan. It's a big project. Wish you good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank
We'll
you very much.
draft this
Chairman of
up
the
and
board.
get it. We'll get it filed in the next 2 weeks with the plan of record, and then if anyone has an objection or an appeal, they have a period of time to do that. Doesn't usually happen, but we have to go through that process. If you have any questions, again, you can talk to the town clerk or Mr. Carmichael or Mr. Iafredi in the meantime. But otherwise, good luck and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time and consideration, Chairman and members of the board.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Take care.
You too.
Okay. Members, a little rough getting back to all remote, for me anyway. I got to learn how to use the posting of documents. I've just never tried it because that's really handy, and to have the cursor. Brian, you did a good job following what we were talking about, but and Jim, you did it as well on yours, right? I guess it's
I haven't used Zoom in a while.
well, good for you.
Give me a second.
Well, it's going to take me some training. I guess I have to do a Zoom training. There's nothing else before us except for approval of minutes. Is that correct, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a couple of notes for the record. We got to the last couple, that new section. It's not a 1.5e finding. It's a whatever it was, 1.6 finding. So we got to get that right. I mean, we did it right. I just have to remember to draft it up right. Brian, if you have any problems with that, let me know, but I think it's apparent in the bylaws what I was reading from. It's the same standard that applies anyway. What was the concern I had with the first or second one? We often don't ask a couple of things up front concerning, of course, whether it's a pre-existing non-conforming. That's always an issue that I think we need to ask about it. We did tonight. And then we didn't go the next step. I don't think we should have gone the next step. If it's not pre-existing non-conforming, I don't think we should be declaring that it is, because then people rely on that decision. I think leaving it alone as what it was, a variance, is exactly, appropriate and what we should do. The hard thing is going to be if somebody comes in just for a determination and it's apparent on the record that it's not pre-existing zoning, which was 76 or 70. What is it, Nick?
74, I think.
Is it? We got that somewhere in the.
It's right in the. Yeah, it's right in the front of the bylaw. Whatever.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's in the front of the book. But what do we do then if it's apparent we're not supposed to grant relief that we don't have power to grant? To the extent that any of us, members or Brian or Nick, can keep in mind to ask that right up front. Just ask yourself, first, is this a pre-existing? It's a non-conforming use. Now we can see that, but is it a pre-existing, meaning before zoning? And we should be holding applicants to the council told us a couple of months ago, remember, she said, no, the applicant's got to show that to you, should be able to show that to us. And remember, last month we had one that was acquired at an auction at a foreclosure sale, and we made the assumption, and I think that was the fair thing to do. But if it's not apparent on the record, I think we have to be careful about assuming that it's pre-existing. And I don't know what happens if the applicant either says it's not, as happened tonight, or we ask questions about it for some reason. I mean, if the neighbor's opposing it, clearly we have to, stick to the policy, but I think we have to stick to the bylaw anyway. I'm just bringing that up to the extent, going forward, we should all be thinking of that in the back of our minds when we get these, to ask, is this pre-existing? And, Brian and Nick, keep that in mind if they come up and you have reason to suspect it's not, or reason to ask the question, just alert us, when you can. That was my observation, from, one of the earlier applicants tonight. We have minutes. Brian's been very industrious. He's gotten us all the minutes from 2021. Darn him. So now we're supposed to go through them and approve them. Can I suggest, well, Jim, you weren't here in December. David, have you had a chance to look these over? I've done October, November, December. Brian's done a very good job of putting the minutes together. I have a few, typo type edits to make, that I can certainly do, but I'm satisfied with their accuracy. David, did you have a chance to go through the December, or do you want to do that right now?
Yeah, I only read a couple, to be honest. I agree.
That's fine.
They were extremely well documented.
Yeah. Which is great. It's great. I mean, he captures it all. Hopefully not our coughs and sneezes, but I haven't seen those. Noel coughed. But I'd be ready to vote on December. Jim wasn't here, so it'd be just you and me, Dave. We don't have to take votes on these anyway, but we've done that. The bylaw doesn't require it. But Dave, if you're comfortable with December,
yes, I did read December's, and I was comfortable with that. Yes.
Okay. I'll move for that the minutes for December be accepted with a couple minor things that I can correct. I think it was Mrs. to Ms. I like using Ms. If we don't know marital status. I think that's the accepted form. I don't remember if that was in December or one of the earlier ones, but there are just a couple of minor edits like that I would make and get them signed and submitted. So with that, is there a agreement, David, that December is fine as is?
Yes, December is fine.
Okay, Mr. Wren and Mr. Noel have deemed that we don't have to do votes, just want kind of a consensus. Then I'll ask, have you gone back, Dave or Jim, to look at November or October? Jim, you had a very rough month last month. Our condolences to you, of course.
Thank you.
Glad to see you back.
We've had a rough 6 months. My wife lost her father, her brother, and then I lost my dad. So it was, it's been a long couple months, but I have not, not to lie, I haven't even looked at the last December meeting, which so I promise in a recorded session that I will go back. I will read those minutes, and I will have them. I'll have them proofread by next meeting. I will also by this weekend have that
Mullins form.
The Mullins form. I'll have it to you by Monday, Friday. And
that was another issue. I think actually, I don't know if it was supposed to have been done prior to tonight's hearing, but it wasn't, and I'm not gonna bring it up. So if you could just get that done and in and tell us when it is, tell Brian and me, you're sending it to Brian, I guess.
I'll see you on it.
Yeah. I mean, we won't have the decision, done then anyway, but so if you could do it in the next days, that would be great. I've read October and November. Can I ask that we do, at the next meeting, September, October, November anyway? If we can go further back than that, I'm kind of going in reverse order. But if we could do September, October, November at the next meeting and get those done and in, that would be a big step. I'll try to read the others too, but I don't know, if I'm going to have time to do the others. But Brian's done a fabulous job with them, so I really don't have big changes except for minor edits to anything. Can we try to do that?
I thought they were very detailed. I think I was looking at October. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. Substantially, I didn't have any comment. I was just under the first matter. It was just it was a very long paragraph.
if you want to make an edit, feel free.
Yeah, that was just, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know when to make indents sometimes.
yeah. It was just, for a reader, it was just intimidating. No. Wow.
Oh, now I lost those. No, here they are.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even read it substantially. I just happened to notice.
Oh, here's the Mrs. Judy Barrett. I don't know if it's a Mrs. or a Ms., but I just usually go with Ms. That's what I was referring to. That's the October minutes.
Yeah, I understand. I just did Mrs. because that was how I was raised, to say Mrs. instead of Miss.
I looked these over, and again, I had just a couple of minor word changes, minor edits. Dave, if you want to tackle those now, we can do that.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't actually read all of October.
Okay, let's just leave it at December for now, then. And
because I stopped because I was kind of intimidated when I saw it.
It's fine. We'll go back to September, October, November next time anyway, and hope if we can do before then, that's great too. I think there are 3 others aside from those. One thing I wanted to mention, Brian, the lead paragraph for all of them. I think we have to say where we were meeting. I wrote in October. So the first sentence, meeting held by hybrid means in person, and then I was going to add, what's it called? At the
Norton Media Center.
Is that what it's called? Norton Media Center?
Yeah, Norton Media Center.
What's the address? At the Norton Media Center.
184 Main Street, 184 West Main Street.
184 West Main?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to put where we were physically. Usually it used to be at Town Hall. We just leave it at that. But I mean, that's the type of thing that I was just going to insert in these, and I'll insert in December. But just going forward, we can keep that in mind.
Okay.
And then we'll tackle these and get them done. Anything else tonight?
Do we know how long these remote meetings are going for?
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
But I did notice I was on the Norton website, Norton, Town Hall website. And
sorry, Nick, to drag this on, buddy.
Yeah. But I noticed it said that it's going to be remote until the pandemic comes to a conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think talking to Prasanna, the health agent, and Mike, I mean, and it obviously don't hold me to this, but I think initially they were planning on like maybe January, potentially February, depending on how this this new surge, I guess you can call it, goes.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything's been set in stone. But David, I also haven't seen the town website. If they posted something like that on the website, that's news to me. But
well, I think we got an email on it, in December, right after Christmas or right before. I think it's the selectman or town manager that did it, and that's what I remember. But meanwhile, Dave is apparently coming down with.
Yeah, I've had it for a while though, so it's not
good.
Yeah.
So dry out right now. That's why I'm. My throat is all weird because of the dryness. But hopefully, I'll stay healthy, and we'll just. Brian, let us know what you hear about the edicts from town manager and selectmen of the meetings as we go. And when's our next meeting?
Our next meeting should be in February.
To clarify my comment, the comment I saw was under hours of operation, but I'm actually on the zoning board of appeals page.
Oh.
But it says the town hall, for the duration of the COVID-19 pandemic, the town hall is open to the public by appointment only.
I think that's the general policy.
Yeah, okay, that's a general policy. That's
As for meetings, though, I mean, I think that came. There was some email, I think, around Christmas.
Yeah.
So just watch that for us, Brian, and let us know by email. If you see it changing, that'd be helpful. Nick, thanks again for tuning in and helping out. It's always good to have your, the background of these from you. So thanks.
yeah, absolutely. Sorry I missed last month, but we'll get back on track. I should be in consistently like I was at the beginning.
Great. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. And Jim, again, boy, glad to have you back. Just chin up.
How you like to hear?
I thought that he was going to say, "Oh boy, Jim, you're loving the hair." Keep going.
I hadn't noticed it.
Wow,
that's good.
Wow.
Good for you.
All right, let's wrap this up. I'm going to bed.
Nick has that under his hat too. Nick's is in a big bun right now.
Man bun.
I just got mine cut last night, so I got to keep it short and fresh.
I would like to have Jim's hair, but something happened. I don't know.
Kids, right?
This last couple of years with COVID, I've been losing.
Listen, my hairline was here.
Yeah, well, I know.
All right, 4 to 5, Jim.
Thanks everybody very much. Sorry to be talking. Brian, good job. Good job.
Thank you.
You're going to do some drafts on these and keep it simple, and
I'll make them more simple than the minutes, if that's okay.
yeah, that's good. That's good. But good job, Brian. Thank you. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn 8:26?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
As usual, all those in favor? Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
You try and keep it easy for you, Brian.
See you.
All right.
See ya.